Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Hey, good morning, folks. I'm your host, BKP. I'm sorry, 8:02 this morning. You've been delayed just a minute there. Well, this hat has an orange tint on it. I didn't expect that. I don't know where we're getting the orange tint flying off this hat. Maybe the light's here. So anyhow, it's got a little orange tint. We'll have to check that out on the lighting. Oh, by the way, I'm your host, BKP. There's all the ways to contact us. 706-889-9700, chief@fetchernews.com, chief@fetchernews.com, and all the social media ways to follow us. Now, that being said, I support the President of the United States, Lonnie, but I look like I've got a little orange tint, and I'm not using his orange tint makeup. Is there a way you can look at some of the lighting there or some of the inside the program this morning to see if that could clear up? Thanks, Lonnie. All right, I don't mind. I support the President of the United States, but it seems like it got with the lighting or whatever. Our power went out. Did your power go out? So we're doing the minor adjustments here. Our power went out here at the shop. Had a couple things we had to redo on our camera. Also, power went out at my house. How about you? If you are in North Georgia, in the area, or Western Carolina, within the mountainous areas, be careful, folks. Flash flooding. The rain is not over. It comes out of the mountains in a delay. You may think, well, the rain ended and then here comes a flood. Yes, so just be careful because as we told you yesterday, there's going to be power out. The ground is very, very soft. I know you don't want to talk about rain. Trees are turning over in the wind. Yes, that was thunderstorms yesterday afternoon. Very loud thunderstorms throughout the area. That's supposed to continue today. So, excuse me here, just be very cautious of the weather here in North Georgia and wherever you may be. I thought I would put some props up on the hats. Folks, I think this is the first time in, I don't remember ever doing this, but I forgot both of my computers at home. Both. I mean, I have no computers because it's going to have to wing it. I did not have time to go back. I get out of the car and I realize I don't have any computers with me. So I'm working these computers right now, which actually I've got enough to do the show. So I figured what we do is some props here. I have my hat, mega hat, drain the swamp. My other vote Trump mobs or jobs hat. And then I got my hat here. It says Vote Trump 2020, Perfect Vision. And then I have Keep America Great 2020. And that's the one with the orange tint, much like myself. So when we go to break, maybe we can clear up my orange glow. I mean, I did not. A lot of text messages. I'm getting people stop me. This is happening. I've read all the articles. I see all the people sending information out. And this is concerning Georgia House Speaker David Ralston and legislative leave. Somebody sent me a message yesterday and asked me why I would not comment. And I'll tell you why. I read the article. Chattanooga Times is after this. AJC, WSB, Eric Erickson. I always love when Eric Erickson chimes in, right? But there's enough chatter that I paid attention to everything. I've read all the articles, as I said, that was redundant. But I wanted to wait, okay? Now, something that's going on in journalism and the media that's very, very concerning right now is this snap to judgment because everybody wants to be the first to break a story. And it's like right now, journalists do not care if they have to come back a week later and try to recover from the lies, or what's interesting is just ignore they did the story. So we'll take the story, and we'll get into it in a minute. We won't do it right now. We'll take the story with Smollett, okay? We'll take the story. Now, obviously, I'm not going to. Lonnie, just give me, hold on a minute. I'm trying to do this way. It won't be like this through the entire show, folks. But give me, I think it's, well, hold on here. We got a picture here of this guy. Give me like number, well, you say you don't have this one. Number 20 is false police arrest or felony. You said you didn't have that earlier because that's screenshot number 20. All right, there it is. Okay, thanks. All right, false police reports are a felony. Now, this guy Smollett, right? He's a gay black man in Chicago, claimed that somebody put a noose around his neck and poured some kind of chemical on him and yelled, "This is a mega country. This is mega country," okay? So we have the media immediately ran all of these stories, did not check into anything, and guess what? Now we know that this was just a lie. Now some of the media have just decided to ignore it. How do I deal with false reporting? Just don't follow it up. Move on. I mean, it's a disaster what we're calling the media today. Now we have, let's go to, I think you have 11, 12, 13 or 14. Either one there. The one with the Kentucky student sues Washington Post. I got the numbers wrong. It says Kentucky student sues Washington Post. My apology, Lonnie. I was not able, because of the computer, to number these properly, so Lonnie's trying to work with me. So I've got the one there, Kentucky student sues Washington Post, all right? And this is the Catholic, there he goes, Catholic student there at the March for Life. And the media ran the story. Now they're actually being sued. This young man and his family plan to hold the media account. So you can go ahead and take that one down. So the point I'm getting back to, and I'll get back to this at 8:30, we're going to take a break, and at 8:30 we're going to, I'm going to do a segment on Georgia House Speaker, legislative leave, and what I did is I waited several days to see all the articles, see what happened, and make sure that when I bring you my opinion on what's going on, I can be very clear with it and not just reaction and sensation and trying to get the media let the media get me all hyped up, much like it has a lot of people. So we're going to do that at 8:30. My take on what's going on with legislative leave and Georgia House Speaker David Ralston. Now that being said, let's flip for a minute. We know, okay, Andy McCabe. Now, I do not give props. I think the last time I cringed, the last time I ran a clip from the show. Absolutely cringed. I try to never come on here and run any clips from The View. But there's two reasons I want you to listen to this. Lonnie, I want to go to the clip of The View there. And before we do, I want you to listen. When Meghan McCain, the chubby little white girl that, John McCain's daughter, she's okay. She's a chubby little white girl. I'm a chubby little old white guy, so what the hell? Anyhow, at the end of her questioning on McCabe, listen to the last words that come in out of the left field over here by none other than Joy Behar. Listen to those words right at the end of this clip. Play that clip, Lonnie.
Right here on national TV, that you were not a source for the New York Times, you were never a source for the New York Times or any other publication, considering that's what you're accused of lying about. Basically, were you ever a leaker to the New York Times?
Absolutely not. No, not in any time ever. You should understand, Megan, when I was serving as deputy director, I was one of 2 people in the FBI that had the authority to disclose information to the media. That is an FBI policy. It's baked into the way that we run media relations in the organization. So I transacted on issues regarding the media every single day.
Just really quick, then why did James Comey deny the claim that he approved your leaks to the press?
I don't know why Jim Comey doesn't remember the conversations that we had in the same way that I do. It is understandable. He was under an enormous amount of stress at the time. He had a lot of other kind of more important things to worry about. I can't explain why he doesn't remember them the same way I do.
I thought you guys wrote everything.
Okay. I thought, let me write this down. I thought, because I watched the whole thing, I thought you guys wrote everything down. So Meghan McCain asked him, and that's number 10 there. Put Meghan McCain up while I'm talking about it. Meghan McCain asked him if he was one of the leak, if he was the leak to the New York Times. Remember the leak in the New York Times that nobody has fessed up to? Now, McCabe says no. He's actually one of 2. All right, remember, okay? Remember, he says he's one of 2 that has access or has the ability to go to the New York Times, go to the media. I'm trying to find something here that I'm going to have up in just a minute. So that being said, at the very end, all right, remember it was just 2 days ago in the 60 Minutes interview, right? It was just 2 days ago in the 60 Minute, it was a Sunday night, a couple nights ago in the 60 Minute interview, right, that McCabe says, we write everything down. That's our training. Remember Scott Pelley said, okay? Remember Scott Pelley said, we write everything down. And the New York Times will not let me in this morning. Great. There's the article there, but we'll get to that in a minute. But Scott Pelley said, you have a great memory. Remember? And I don't want to give Meghan too much credit here. And I find it interesting that I'm actually giving Joy Behar her mindless thought. If she knew she was thinking this out loud, I don't think she would have saying this. If she was thinking this and translated it out loud, I don't think she would have said it. But did you hear at the end? I thought you guys wrote everything down. Now Sunday, Scott Pelley, okay, Scott Pelley on there's my glasses on CBS. Did the interview like this. Remember, he did the interview like this. And he's like, really? Wow. Now you have, remember what Pelley said on CBS, you have just a great memory of every single thing, every account. Why is that? Well, we write everything down. When we're done, we write everything down. That's part of your training, right? Yes, we're trained to write everything down. Okay, so I'm just saying here, I have 2 times here recently, and I tried never to use The View as on this show. I give it no respect whatsoever. It's 8:17, trying to keep up with it. Our power went out. Our studio clock is not set, and so just bear with me. But Meghan McCain asked if he's the New York Times leaker. He doesn't know why James Comey lost his memory on this. Why he lost his memory. He had so much going on. And you know, New York Times, 2 people have access from the FBI. Comey denied it, that he was the leaker. He doesn't remember why Comey would do that, or why Comey doesn't remember. I thought you guys wrote everything down. And that's Joy Behar, and I got to give it to her for thinking out loud and not realizing it. So he's on book tour, and what I would like for you to take away, we're going to play another clip from Anderson Cooper last night. We can't play every clip because he has hit everywhere he's going. He was on Morning Joe. Where's my post? I don't know what number it is. If you can find the one where it says coming up this morning on Morning Joe. Now I haven't had an opportunity to watch that, but Morning Joe there, Andrew McCabe coming up this morning. He has hit everywhere. And the takeaway for me is obviously he's not had a hard question at all. Nobody has asked him while his top position. I want you to remember the FBI, this is the top. And you see what a weasel and a liar and a piece of garbage this guy is. This is the top. This is the deputy director under Comey. You can't go any higher. As you're watching this guy, do you not realize and stop and think, hey, this guy was top of the FBI? This was our top guy? Then he was acting director when Comey got fired. And you know what? President of the United States had every right to fire James Comey. And if they're looking for anybody that's connected to Russia, there's a long list up there in Congress before you come anywhere close to Donald J. Trump. Now, last night, this is making the rounds, but last night, Anderson Cooper, there's 2 spots I want you to listen to here before we take our first break. Let's go to CNN's Anderson Cooper.
Does it make sense to you, I mean, in kind of looking at this now from the perspective, just how many people around the president have lied about their contacts with Russia? I mean, just the sheer number of people lying about things having to do with Russia.
It's extraordinary. I don't think we've ever seen anything quite like it. I'm not aware of a single other campaign that's been investigated or looked at for the same curious ties with Russia. And now, as a result of the work that the special counsel has done, and of course all that progress that we're aware of through the public court filings and the information that's been disclosed, I mean, you have a situation where not just one, not just 2, but numerous people in and around the president, in and around the campaign, maintained contacts with individuals from Russia, people connected to the Russian intelligence services. You have a number who have been charged, a number who've been already convicted and pled guilty for all kinds of different offenses. I think I saw in reporting, open source reporting today, maybe the New York Times stories documented over 1,100 contacts between people associated with the Trump campaign and the government of Russia. I mean, that is not a situation I have ever seen before, and why so many of those individuals seem to be trying to conceal those contacts is something that we should all be concerned about.
Given all you know, given all you've seen, is President Trump fit to serve?
I don't think that's for me to determine whether or not he's fit to serve. You know, our decision, certainly in the FBI, the issues that we confront is whether or not an investigation should be undertaken. We don't convict people, we don't throw people in jail, we decide when we think we need to investigate. That's the decision I made in those somewhat crazy days in May of 2017, and it's one I stand by.
Is he fit to lead the FBI? Is he fit to be a commander-in-chief?
You know, I think that's something that our political leaders and the country at large will have to decide.
One of the things I've talked to General Michael Hayden about,
Now, folks, this guy is, and I want to remind you, he is the top of the FBI at this time. Now, they planned a coup. Now, Anderson Cooper, you know, asked him about his involvement or being called the head of the deep state there all the way to the top. But do you realize, do you pay attention to the tense that Cooper asked the questions? how many have lied? That's implying, how do they know? How many have lied? Lying. How many? So many are lying. Now, Cooper implies that he says 1,100 contacts fit to serve. These are the hard-hitting questions Andrew McCabe has gotten. Now, if you're out there and you have, he has an interview, and anyone has asked him to recall the day in his office when Peter Strzok and Lisa Page put their feet up on the coffee table and said, Andy, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr, Fusion GPS, is that who they are? Simpson, the dossier. Where are the questions that surround Hillary Clinton? Where are these questions? Now, interestingly, the day after, he does a 60-minute, okay? Now, they do this stuff on purpose. So they set this up. Now, last week, was it last week or week before last, all right? They asked Andrew Whitaker, all right, multiple times. And I don't know if I sent you any Andrew Whitaker pictures, but I'm going to look. Just 1 minute, please. In the first set that I sent you, there is, I think, 1, 2, 3, number 3, 4, and 6. Try 3, 4, and 6, see if I got them right. And so number 3, there you go. And the New York Times report raises new obstruction questions. New York Times, Trump wanted his appointee to run Michael Cohen probe. All right? So McCabe is book tour, 60 minutes, he's out. He's doing these interviews. He's asked by Meghan McCain yesterday, was he the leak to the New York Times? But this morning, this article drops. Now, last week or week before last, when they had Whitaker, the acting attorney general at that time, there you go, Trump tried to get Ally put in charge of investigation into hush money payments. Now, they claim that Donald Trump called Whitaker and asked Whitaker, go to the next one right there. Dems scrutinize former acting attorney general Whitaker for possible perjury. So wait right there for a minute. And I think it's the picture right before that of another guy. Is the picture right before that the number right before that? Go to that one and see if we got it right there. Yes. Okay, leave that there. So Whitaker testified before Congress. I can get this all chopped up, put together. And he continually was asked, did he have a conversation with the president concerning the Southern District of New York and Cohen and so forth. And the Attorney General is not obligated in any way whatsoever to discuss the conversations that he has with the President of the United States. He's not, and they know that, okay? But they're setting him up, okay, to run another false story. So they set him up. Now, this Jeffrey Bremen, U.S. attorney from the Southern District of New York, used to be partners with Rudy Giuliani, okay? I think him and Rudy Giuliani were law partners. The New York Times is claiming that President Trump put pressure on Whitaker to try to get Jeffrey Berman there to run the case where Michael Cohen was concerned on the hush money. Not true. Not true. So they're going after Whitaker. They're going after the president. And there's no evidence whatsoever. None. But the New York Times is running a new obstruction. Now, I will tell you, CNN, MSNBC, all of them this morning are running with this out of the box, a new obstruction. See, they know there's no obstruction with Mueller. They know that, okay? They know there's no obstruction with Mueller. In the Mueller case with Russia, I'm sorry. There's no obstruction with that case with Russia. They know that, all right? They know they're holding basically nothing when it comes to the President of the United States and this Russian witch hunt. That's why this is called new obstruction. New. And who did they go to? They went to Judge Napolitano and friggin', what's his name there at 3 o'clock, Shepard Smith. The two boys that just saying, if you don't know Judge Napolitano, I can't help you. If you don't know Shepard Smith, I can't help you. If you don't know why they're friends, special friends, I can't be of help. But all the media is running where Judge Napolitano, yes, this is obstruction. Yes, oh my God. They're running the Fox clip with Shepard Smith, and Judge Napolitano has become the liberal left, both of them, hero over at Fox that they run the clip. But the President of the United States did not obstruct justice, and they can't stop until they find something. But don't you think it's interesting? McCabe goes on, Whitaker 2 weeks ago testifies, McCabe drops his book deal, goes on 60 Minutes. Now he's doing this tour, tells me, we know he's a leaker. We know, the president said in a tweet, he's a leaker. Right? And don't you find it interesting, this morning the New York Times drops another story right after Meghan McCain asked him if he's a leak to the New York Times. But they drop another story with a new accusation of obstruction of justice. It's on and on and on. Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Look, put that number 21 or 22, the last picture I sent you, before I go to break. You see that Blue Ridge Community Theater last night, February 19th at 7 p.m. What does that say? The road to 2020, realignment in America and what it means. Thank you, Lonnie. Realignment in America and what it means for Georgia. I went last night. I was there and for a couple hours, and I paid attention to this political scientist that gave this speech, and then the open discussion, and we're going to talk about that today. Look at what it says, the road to 2020, realignment in America, and what it means for Georgia. I'm your host, BKP. When we get back, I am going to give my opinion. I'm going to do a segment on House Speaker David Ralston. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead. The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
No, that's not better. But that's okay. We're going to keep working on it. Sorry, folks. We're trying to work on the camera and the lighting. Power went out last night. I'm your host, BKP. I apologize there. We got to work on it sometime, but I understand, Lonnie. I understand. So I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Trying to work on our color, our white balance, and some things on the camera. Our power went out, and we didn't have enough time to work on it this morning, so our apology. Okay, Lonnie, start the recording now, because I don't want all this in the front, okay? You with me? All right? So let's give me a thumbs up when you got a new recording started for this segment. All right, folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. At this time, I want to discuss for a couple minutes I want to discuss House Speaker David Ralston, legislative leave, and everything swirling around it right now. And I want to take a couple minutes to do that. I have not made comments on this. First of all, I will not defend a politician. Absolutely will not defend a politician. You have the pictures that we're going to. Thanks, Lonnie. Okay, I will not defend a politician. I know what you're saying. Well, what do you do on a daily basis where the president's concerned? I have one exception. I'll look in the camera. I defend my president, Donald J. Trump, on a daily basis from all the media attacks. But other politicians, I want to be clear. Now, several of you are probably going to be upset with some of the things I say, but I ask you to hear me out. So what I'm waiting for is to hear what Speaker David Ralston plans to do in this situation where legislative leave has come into play that has moved out so many cases, okay, so many of the cases from his law practice, that some multiple years and not in court. First of all, I think he has to move these cases. Just absolutely has to, okay? But there's a lot left in the reporting that's not discussed. And this is where I hope you'll stay with me, okay? Now, first of all, when Eric Erickson gets on board. Now, I want to remind you out there, Eric Erickson does not like our president, okay? Remember the Red State Convention or whatever, the big thing he held, and he disinvited. Remember, I want to remind you who this Eric Erickson is that's getting so much play over his attack on the Speaker of the House of Georgia, David Ralston. This is the guy that did not invite your President of the United States. This is the guy that did not want his children around your President of the United States. This guy disinvited the Donald, badmouthed the Donald, was a never Trumper. I'm saying that. I don't know if he ever actually said that. And I'm saying this, I'm not for sure. I don't think Eric Erickson voted for Donald Trump. I'm not for sure. I don't think he did. And just recently, he has come out and said he is going to vote for Donald Trump this time. So let's remember who this guy is, okay? Second, he's gone after the Speaker of the House multiple times, all right? And he does not like the Speaker. So Eric Erickson leaves a little bit out of his reporting. WSB, they have done these stories over and over. All of the media have done these stories. These stories on the Speaker of the House and legislative leave have been done for several years, okay? But all of those reports leave a couple things out, okay? The AJC, the newspapers in other states, okay? They reported this, but there's a lot of things they leave out. Now, one, legislative leave. These representatives, senators and representatives, are 2-year terms. Many of these representatives are attorneys. So they're not going to end their law practice. Now, they hope to keep getting reelected. They hope to keep getting reelected. Obviously, they don't have term limits, and if they can get reelected for 10 terms in a row and they serve 20 years, they'll do it, most of them. But they're not guaranteed to get reelected. Realistically, 2 years from now, they may have to go home and work in their law practice. They can't end their law practice. They can't say, I'm not going to take any more cases. Because for the most part, that is still the majority of their income is their law practice if they're attorneys. So they're not going to end their law practice, and they're not going to do that. And there's an old law on the books which allows legislative leave. If they're doing business on behalf of their elected position, if their elected position causes them to have to do business, anything to do with the legislature down there in Atlanta, they can claim legislative leave. Basically, judges just are pretty much okay. I mean, I'm not going to say there's no pushback. I'm not going to say sometimes a judge doesn't say to one of the legislators, hey, we got to get this case off the books. But pretty much across the state of Georgia, there's very little pushback. There's no special consideration given to David Ralston, the Speaker of the House, on legislative leave when it comes to judges. It's not out there, and that's not in the reporting, okay? Second, district attorneys and other attorneys tied to the case have no recourse, meaning they can't say, no, drag the speaker in here. They can't do that. They can't do that. No, they cannot. As long as when the judge says, when they get their letter that is, there's legislative leave or notice, nothing they can do. So all of the reporting has to be clear. First of all, my opinion is the Speaker of the House gets no more of a pass when it comes to the judges of the Appalachian Judicial Circuit or other circuits he practiced in than any other attorney across the state with legislative leave, period. Now, that is one thing that they will not tell you in the reporting. Second, they won't tell you, okay, how many cases. I want to ask you a question. Now, the media claims that, the speaker has abused his position, all right, and that's up to you to decide. I'm not taking your decision away this morning. I just want to bring some more things into play. The media claims that the speaker has used his position, okay, and has abused his position to keep these cases on the books. I would like to know how many that's doing these investigations have looked to see how many cases in the state of Georgia that are on the books, 5 years old, 7 years old, 10, or more. That there's no representatives in Atlanta, attorney representatives in Atlanta, that are tied to the case. Did they do any reporting on how many rape cases, how many child molestation cases, whatever they may be, across the state of Georgia that are still on the books 5, 7, 10 years that have not been moved off the court calendar, that have nothing to do with David Ralston or any of the other legislatures? No, they did not compare that number. They did not come and say, Speaker Ralston has used legislative leave, and these are my numbers. I'm not looking them up. I don't have a computer in front of me. Speaker Ralston has used legislative leave 55 times, and in this particular case, 8 times, in this particular case, 7. Okay. Do they follow the story up by saying, but we find in the state of Georgia there's so many cases, a number of cases that are 5, 7. Look that up. You'll be amazed at how many cases in the state of Georgia are 5, 7, 10 years. They shouldn't be. That's another issue in itself, the backlog in Georgia. But no, they don't bring that up. They don't talk about it. Now, do they bring up what it's like to do a court calendar in a rural judicial district? Now, I for one have sat in the courtroom, actually here recently, okay, with a murder case going on, more than I have in the past several years, but I have sat in the courtroom multiple times on cases. Do they bring up, when they discuss this, that if there's a case in Gilmer County and it's court week, how many of these attorneys, now Gilmer County has several attorneys, Pickens County has several attorneys, Fannin County has several attorneys, and these are all places that the speaker has cases. But the majority of the attorneys, when it's court date, are from out of town. I mean, if you go to any one of these rural courthouses on court day, and the tags, and you just look at the counties of where all these attorneys have to come from, because the people in North Georgia, there's so many cases. There's people. Is it Clarksville or Clarkston or wherever? I was at a case this week where the attorney traveled from Clarksville. I mean, Athens. They travel all over to do these cases. There's so many times when an attorney stands up and says, Your Honor, we just got a message, and attorney so-and-so is held up in a case in Cobb County and cannot get out of there. We're hoping to reschedule for this afternoon if you have time on your calendar. No, they don't talk about any of that. Nothing of what it's like. They don't talk about how many cases throughout the day in the rural circuits trying to get attorneys that are representing people from all over the place to get a court calendar that works for a case. Nobody talks about that. It's very tough. Now, my opinion is, I'm going to throw out 4,000. Now, I don't know, But I'm going to say the Appalachian Judicial District has 4,000 cases. It never stops. They have three judges. Now, the reason I keep bringing up the Appalachian Judicial District, this is where the Speaker of the House lives. This is where his practice is in Fannin County. I know he has court cases in other judicial districts. But no, none of the news reporting takes any time to look at a court calendar in a rural judicial district. Now, I, for one, am not bringing up any shortcoming by the judges in their calendars. I watch these cases, not particularly the ones we're talking about with Ralston, but I watch a lot of these cases, and I see their court calendars, and they're stacked. So I'm not saying these judges are not trying to push these cases through their courts, but they're limited to what they can do. And the first time an attorney has to reschedule something, and then you listen, just come and listen one day. These guys know in these networks that do these stories. These guys know. Now, they're all going to come back on his abuse of the power. That's their claim. But they know what it's like. Now, there's even a move. Now, my question is here, okay? He's the representative of the 7th District of Georgia. There's a list out there that just don't like the guy, okay? There's a list that just does not like the guy. Why did this story break? Now, they've done it for years, but why did this story break after he was elected Speaker of the House? Why? Why not break this story before he was elected almost unanimously as Speaker, with the exception of one? Why didn't the story break before that? Why didn't the WSB, why didn't the AJC, why didn't the other papers, why didn't Erickson, why didn't they run this? You got to think is what this is all about, okay? Because they continue, the media continues to make you think that they're so concerned about justice, and they are so concerned, and their hearts are bleeding for these cases and the people involved in these cases. Now, I will tell you this. The people involved in these cases, hey, my heart goes out to you. I think they need off the books, and I think they need tried. But don't get confused that the media is doing something for you. Hey, you may be the recipient of getting your cases off the books and get them heard and getting into court. But don't think it for 1 minute it's because the media likes you and cares for you and their heart goes out to you. Okay? Because if it did, why didn't they run this story? Why didn't they run this story when he was running for office 7 months ago? Why not? Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they run this story after he got reelected and he became Speaker of the House before the vote? Why didn't they blow up the media? Will Republicans? That was their chance. That was their chance to put pressure on the other Republicans down in Atlanta to say, don't vote for this guy as Speaker of the House. But they didn't. So don't think it's because they care about, these cases. They're doing this, and it's a timing reason why they're doing this. Oh, absolutely. It's a timing reason. Now, there's also a call right now for all the GOP, local GOP offices or county GOP committees to do a resolution to remove him. They want a resolution at the state GOP convention that says, we think that the Speaker of the House should be removed. But my question is to you, what is the real reason behind this? Who is pushing this story? Why is it now? Now, I want to go before, I told you in the beginning, I will not carry a politician's water. I will not. I mean, I know the Speaker of the House. I'm here in the district. I see him at so many different functions. I know the things as far as the district, the 7th District of Georgia, that the Speaker has been instrumental in of doing here, okay, in this district. But, Mr. Speaker, I will tell you this. These cases need cleared. These cases need tried. And they need off the court calendar. They need off. They need done and finished. So whatever you can do to wrap these cases up and move them along, I think it should be done. So as I said, I'm not going to carry any politician's water, and I'm not going to take up for somebody, and I'm not going to make an accusation on the legislative leave and the abuse of it. But I will say this. These cases have gone on way too long. All right? They need off, Mr. Speaker. They need tried and done and finished and wrapped up. The Appalachian Judicial District, and whatever district you have cases in, they need cleaned up. That's my opinion. But on the other side of this, for the people that are upset, don't forget who Eric Erickson is. He's the guy that did not support your president. Okay? These are people that sensationalize things for their own personal gain. Okay? That's the bottom line, their own personal gain. Also, question the time. They know, okay, Speaker David Ralston's not going to talk about these cases. He's not going to. He can't. He can't come out and talk about these cases. He's limited in what he can say. He cannot even come out, and I don't know that he has, and say anything on these cases, and the media knows that. The media knows he can't do that. And the media will not show you the other side of rural court calendars and how many cases across the state are 5, 7, 10 years that have nothing to do with House Speaker David Ralston. No, they will not. But they will end their reporting, and they have been ending their reporting. He's not broken any laws. He hasn't broken the law. You may not like it, but he's not broken the law. So you take judicial districts that may have 4,000 cases in backlog with attorneys that have to travel halfway across the state to try a lot of these cases that they're involved in, and you sit one day. I invite the guy, I forget his name, I didn't write it down. I invite the guy that has done. Here's what I'd like: Eric Erickson, the AJC, Eric Erickson, and the guy, is it Tony Thomas or whoever it is from WSB? I would invite you to do two things. Come up here and sit through, okay, a court calendar day with judges and attorneys trying to set a court calendar. Do one of those. Two, just take a district, a rural judicial district, and look up how many cases, or do it across the state, that are 5, 7, or 12, 10, 12 years old, let's stay with 5 or 7, that have nothing to do with the legislator at all right, in the state, and then broaden your report to backlogs in the state of Georgia, case backlogs in the state of Georgia that are not getting moved at all based on how many cases they are, and maybe not enough judges. I don't know what the answer is. But why don't you widen that? Because particularly the timing. Why didn't you push this story when he was running for office? Why didn't you push this story and get everybody and all the Republicans on the bandwagon to vote no for him for Speaker? Why did this story get legs and turn up about three or 4 weeks after session started? Why? Because it's a setup. It's a setup, and it's being done on purpose, and somebody's driving this. I'd like to know. And the only thing I want to tell the victims out there in the cases that you're waiting to go for trial all these years, I hope you get in court very soon, and that is sincere. But please don't think for 1 minute that the media cares about you. They're using you to try to achieve all the things they want to try to get this guy out as Speaker of the House. That's, hey, I didn't try to change your opinion this morning. I'm just telling you, watch everything that's being done and don't accept everything at face value that the media is giving you. Bottom line. Okay? So that's all I have on that. I'm going to take a break. Now, you give me comments. I don't care. You know, I probably got a lot of people out there that are upset with me that I didn't do an Eric Erickson and I didn't do an attack, and I'm not going to do an attack. It's just not going to happen. I'm just looking at the other side of what is really going on in this story that nobody talks about. Okay? That's all I'm looking at. Come up here and look at a court calendar. See how many that are not legislators have to change the dates. You know, I don't really share these kind of things, but I told somebody the other day, years ago, and I'll just share this with you. A lot of people don't understand, and I say this in all due respect, they don't understand how the court system works. Most people do not understand the court system and how it works, and sorry to put it that way. But years ago, when I was about 10 years old, my dad had a very big case. He's not an attorney, but he was involved in a very big case with a manufacturer, a lawsuit. We'll leave it at that. And he come home, and I knew he was going to court that day because I could overhear him telling my mom some stuff. And he come home, and I said, "Dad, how did it go in court today?" He said, "Son, you're going to learn one day that two attorneys come in, and they spend half a day," as I just remember, never forget, two attorneys come in, and they spend half a day figuring out on their calendar. Now this is I'm 10, just to say this is a couple years back. Two attorneys come in and they spend half the day on their calendar figuring out when they can come back again to court, and that they're not ready to go to court that day. And that takes half a day, and then the judge okays it, and then they go to lunch together, the two attorneys. So there you go. Anyhow, I'm your host, BKP. Send me a note, 706-889-9700. Tell me what you think. Do you think the Speaker has abused his legislative leave? Do you think the Speaker has done something to the point that you feel he should be removed from, not office, from his position as Speaker? Do you feel there's some things out there that nobody's talking about? And, you know, the way, you know, I'm kindly putting it together. I'm just trying to make you think the whole thing out. Don't get caught up when the media gets a hold of something and takes it, especially with an Eric Erickson involved. Don't get caught up in it. Be careful. Watch it. We are seeing all kinds of news stories these days that should take just a minute to get all the facts in. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back right after these messages.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. 706-889-9700 and our email address there. And there's all the social media ways you can follow the show. You know, we're a mom and pop operation around here, Lonnie. you know what I mean, Lonnie? And we don't have the big fancy studio. So ever since the power went off, I know you're tired of hearing this. If you could throw something at the TV, and you probably are doing it now, you're going to, but we're going to try to continue to adjust. We did not realize power going out takes all the settings out of our computer that we have to, our color and lighting and everything like that. So we're going to try to get it straightened out tomorrow. Now I think I have blue hair now, Lonnie. But that's okay. We're going to go with it. If I get, Lonnie, here's where there could be a problem. If I get one damn text message calling me a Smurf, we got a problem. You got it? So Lonnie's ignoring me there. He says, I'm just going to ignore this because I've worked on it 3 times and I can't do anything about it. That being said, moving right along. Lonnie, give me number 22. I want to do a short segment on this. And by the way, while you give me that one right there, and I want you to put it on the screen. Don't put it the total size of the screen until I tell you, because I know you did that last time, and that was great. But on our last segment concerning the House Speaker, David Ralston, 21, whatever it is, 20. It's the last one I sent you. I've gotten several messages, all right? I got a couple messages online, and some of you have posted some things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait about 20 minutes, and after I do this short segment here, I'm going to read some of the responses on my Ralston segment, that Speaker of the House segment that I just got. So we're going to hold off on that. You have an opportunity, 706-889-9700. You can text me. You can also email me. I'll check the email. And you can go to our social media pages on Facebook and write a comment there. Let's be nice, not get into fights, all right? So I'll wait. In the next segment, I'll look at any of your comments, and I will tell the folks watching some of the comments out there. You may be interested to find out who some of these people are that are making comments this morning concerning House Speaker David Ralston. Now, that being said, Lonnie, put up that right there. Okay, let's go full screen just for a minute. Okay, last night at the Blue Ridge Community Theater, there's a series, okay? So I don't want everybody to take UNG, University of North Georgia, to task, okay? I don't want to take it to task, but they have a series called Learning Cafe. And they do it at the Blue Ridge Community Theater. And once a month, and next month it's going to be, I forget what it is, it doesn't even have, for the most part, their Learning Cafe series has no political, nothing political about it at all. But particularly last night, there's a, is that Nathan Price? Is that, I can't see in that circle. Does that say Nathan Price is an assistant professor of political science at the University of North Georgia? I can't see that far away, all right? And so he has his PhD in political science there, and that's Dr. Nathan Price, and he is the one that spoke last night. And the topic was the road to 2020, realignment in America, and what it means for Georgia, okay? And he actually did a very good job. I feel, my opinion that he actually, his presentation was from a Democrat standpoint, but he actually did a pretty good job, and what he was doing is going through the different alignment in America on the different presidential. He went all the way back to FDR, He showed the South being blue during FDR. He talked about the Dixiecrats. He went to every presidential map up to the current one, where Trump broke the blue wall, and up there in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Michigan. And he did a fairly good job. So he had an hour. I think he had about an hour. And as he changed the maps, he didn't get into the detail on what changed the landscape in this country. Now, that was something that was missing, but you know, he couldn't get it in an hour. Something that was missing is the change of the landscape of the country based on candidates, based on Saul Alinsky and the progressive movement, based on the corruption in elections, you know, just one thing after another. There's a whole list I could give you. But what it means for Georgia is what really caught my eye. So last night, and the only reason I want to do this story, okay, is for this reason alone. 2020. They brought up, okay, in the 6th district. Thank you, Lonnie. He brought up that Jon Ossoff set the stage in the 6th district that used to be Newt Gingrich's district, and I think it was Phil Gingrich's district. And this used to be Johnny Isaacson district, I think. But anyhow, he talked about flipping the 6th, okay, in this last election. And how, in this last election, you know, Georgia has moved to a purple state. Now, that being said, and the swing, he did not get into, in the 6th district, that Karen Handel, I regret to say it this way, is a bad candidate. Was a bad candidate. When Karen runs, she's not a good candidate. She does not run a good campaign. Now, she did not run a good campaign against Jon Ossoff, all right, that everybody poured in there to save the district. Now, in the last election, the people didn't pour in there to save the district with her. In the last election, and he talked about Alpharetta and education. He brought up the Alpharetta area, the amount of new jobs in Georgia that were requiring higher education. He made reference to higher education equal Democrats. I'm just telling you. In the 6th district, let me tell you something that happened to Karen Handel. One, in the 6th district of Georgia, there are Trump supporters. Whether you believe it or not, there's Trump supporters. Now, if you can do the numbers today and check it out, because they're probably out there, and tell me how many Brian Kemp votes were cast in the 6th district, okay, and how many short Karen Handel, how many less Karen Handel got than Brian Kemp in that own district. I will always say Karen Handel should have made her way, and people argue with me on this. They argue with me when I bring it up. Karen Handel should have made her way to Macon that Saturday, got on the stage if it was only 30 seconds, and let Donald Trump say, hey, up there in the 6th district, I need her in D.C. Please, vote for my friend Karen. I need her. It's all she needed, okay? That would have rallied the Trump supporters that came out and voted for Brian Kemp to vote for her also. Now, I don't think Trump supporters in the 6th district voted for Lucy McBath. I don't think so. But I'm going to tell you, there's a reason why Karen Handel Karen Handel, is not the representative in the 6th District. And I'm going to tell you, Republicans need to run as conservatives in the state of Georgia and not try to find this wishy-washy middle ground that they think will save them in these districts. That being said, I want to finish with this. They still know that rural America and rural, oh, I'm so sorry, rural America and rural Georgia is what put Donald Trump in the White House. So all I want to say last night to my Republican friends, independent friends, Democrat friends, I guess, it was a cold, rainy night in North Georgia. There was sleet in some areas. It was bitter. It was the kind of night that you didn't put your shoes and go back out. It was the kind of night once you were home and was kicked back, you just found no reason to go back out wet and cold. But 35 to 40, I'm going to go with 35. 35 to 40 Democrats in Fannin County found their way back out last night in that miserable weather. And me, BKP. Oh, I go up my hand up. We know who you are. We know, I've seen your show. We know who you are. But everybody's fairly nice. I will say this, Democrats, I can't stand to debate something with somebody that doesn't have the intelligence level, and I know what I just sounded like, a pompous jackass, but still yet, I'm not very smart. I'm not the brightest guy out there. But when I'm having to start and explain two senators to you, if that's where we got to start, but you're yelling, voter suppression! When I have to explain the Electoral College and you're yelling, popular vote! But yet, they're out there. And they came out last night, pretty large. I only had one little problem. Well, the guy was talking about voting or something like that. They were talking about it, and he said, and this guy in the audience said, the Electoral College. He's talking about the Electoral College. And he said, voter suppression. He said something about, well, we have this problem with voter suppression. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. And voter suppression and taking people off the rolls. I mean, voter suppression and taking people off the rolls. Well, I couldn't sit there, right? I said, whoa. You need to say, number one, you gotta, when you say voter suppression, it's as if you're accusing me or somebody as physically stopping somebody to exercise their right to vote. So you gotta watch how you say voter suppression, okay? And man, this guy got angry. I mean, the moderator's like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. I said, look, don't get mad. You don't have to get, well, voter suppression. I said, whoa, don't get mad. You said voter suppression. I said, if everybody knows that if you don't vote in the second or third cycle, your name's purged off the rolls. The only thing you got to do is when you show up and you got your driver's license and it matches your current address, it automatically activates your voter roll again. They can't take that conversation. They can't handle that conversation. I'm telling you what, all I want to highlight, I just want to say, folks, 35 Democrats were out last night in bitter cold weather to hear something that sounded like, what's it mean to Georgia? Because they're still excited about flipping the state. And I heard them talking about their game plan is to continue to make sure they got candidates on the ballot for every single thing that's up for election. And don't forget, the reason I'm bringing you this, whether you're bored with it or not, and I know this is not exciting and this is not Bernie Sanders stuff, but no matter how bored you are, they know rural America is what put Donald Trump in office. They know it, and they're coming after us. You remember, Stacey Abrams said, we're coming after you. And she meant it, and I see it in their eyes. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, I'm going to discuss, maybe read one or two comments. And then we'll wrap up the day. Lonnie, take us a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. I got a glow on the glasses. I got blue hair. We're going to fix this, we promise. 706-889-9700. Chief at FetcherNews.com there, and all the social media ways you can follow the show. Now, I asked you for comments, and I'm only got time because it's 9:36 for 1, and the reason I only have time for this right here is because of who it is. And I took the break and made a phone call to the individual to make sure I understood, and I had authority to read the comment because it was sent in a direct message to me, the person that just watched the show. And here is the comment that I got. It is funny to me how Eric, that would be Eric Erickson, okay? It is funny to me how Eric Erickson takes this up now when he had nothing to say the past 6 years. The first reaction to these reports was that someone is trying to make a speaker change. This is from a group who wants to gain power. It has little to do with the victims. Just my opinion. Sam Snyder. Now, I picked up the phone and I wanted to make sure it was okay that I read this, and who is Sam Snyder. and I had a conversation with the individual. Mr. Snyder ran against Speaker Ralston twice. Okay, Margaret Williamson ran against Speaker Ralston this past election. Sam Snyder, the former head wrestling coach here at Gilmer County High School, many know him as Coach Snyder. He ran against the speaker twice and very aggressively. Now, he wanted me to make sure that he was not, he wanted to make sure that his comment wasn't being seen as support for David Ralston, other than he had listened to my comments, and all of these people and all of these things now, where were they 6 years ago? Where was Eric Erickson for the last 6 years? He thinks it's just someone now trying to make a speaker change, trying to grab power, and it is little to do with the victims. And that's what just my opinion, that's what I appreciate with Mr. Snyder, because I had the conversation, and that's what I was making out. I'm not carrying Speaker Ralston's water. I do believe that legislative leave probably has played a part where hopefully these cases can get into court. My heart really goes out to the people that can't get their day in court for whatever reason, the calendar, legislative leave, or who the attorney is, okay? But he's not broken any laws. And I don't, for one, I don't trust the media, period. Do not trust the media in this situation. And that was his opinion. It has little to do with the victims. Mr. Snyder, I agree 100%. It has little to do with the victims, and I do understand this is not your way of saying you support the speaker. You just are open to thinking about, hey, why the timing now? And they use these people. I mean, they absolutely use these people right now to try to achieve something, my opinion. So that's the one opinion we had there, and that's over, or one message I had, and I wanted to read that one because it came from Mr. Snyder. That's over. Move on. Lonnie, go to, I want to leave today. I've got this earpiece. It's been behind my ear for 3 years, and it's just starting to irritate me. Hell, every damn thing's irritating me today. Look at my paper. It's blue. Lonnie, it's not your fault, but I want it fixed, okay? I'm sorry. I just told the world. I know you're probably mad at me. I told the whole world. The cable's blue. Everything's blue. Oh. Anyhow. So, McCabe goes on 360 with Anderson Cooper. Let me tell you something. Anderson Cooper, just saying, who's the 3 o'clock guy at Fox? Who's the 3 o'clock guy at Fox? Why am I losing my brain there on that one? The 3 o'clock guy on Fox, I'll get it in a minute, and Judge Napolitano. Who's the 3 o'clock guy on Fox? Somebody tell me real quick. I forget his name. So anyhow, I'll get it in a minute. I'm just saying, they would make great friends. Great friends. Judge Napolitano, Anderson Cooper, and the guy on Fox at 3 o'clock. Yesterday is the president. Remember Scott Pelley? Are you telling me the president's in the league with Vladimir Putin, the Russians? Is that what you're telling me? Remember that just amazed? So he tells Anderson Cooper, do you have that second spot on Anderson Cooper? Let's roll that.
That's the thing that Americans should be focused on and thinking about right now.
When people say you are the epitome of the deep state, that you are the #1 deep state actor, you've been revealed. How do you push back on that?
I mean, Anderson, I find that so incredibly offensive. And I think that the millions of men and women who serve this country every day in all kinds of roles across the federal government would also find that offensive. People who say things like that aren't thinking about all of the things that this government does to serve this society fairly and consistently every day. The fact is, I, like all the men and women in the FBI, people across government and the military, I did my job. I stood up to the obligations of my office. When we're presented with facts, we made hard decisions, decisions that we knew would be tough on the organization, would be tough on us personally. Look what I've gone through as a result of those decisions. But we did them anyway because we were committed to our responsibilities and serving this country.
Do you still believe the president could be a Russian asset?
I think it's possible. I think that's why we started our investigation, and I'm really anxious to see where Director Mueller concludes that.
All right, let's go. Do you think he could be a Russian asset? Do you think he could be? The only thing Anderson Cooper was missing was the Scott Pelley. Do you think he could be a Russian asset? Deep state. He did his job. He served this society. I did my job. Folks, when asked about the deep state, if anybody in the media was serious, they would ask the question about the day that the text message that says Andy. Now you say, well, wait a minute, I would ask this on the Hillary investigation, I would ask this on the server. Where is the server? I would ask McCabe, when you knocked on the door, hey, FBI here. Now, if memory serves me right, and I say that sometimes because I do a lot of things, I got nothing here, I just, boom, shooting from the hip. Not like Roger Stone. Not like Roger Stone. He may be going back to jail. He may be going to jail, not back to jail. He may be going to jail. But anyhow, if memory serves me right, the DNC, McCabe is still with the FBI. So the DNC reports that the server, we got a problem. FBI here. Okay, what's your problem? We got a problem with our server. Why are you calling us? Because we think Assange hacked it all the way from Ecuador, or wherever the hell he's at. You think so, do you? Yeah, I think so. Okay, we'll have to take it in, ma'am. We'll have to take this into the shop. It can't be repaired here. We're going to run all these digital data. We're going to sweep this server. We're going to know by the end of the week who hacked your server. Well, small problem. What? We're okay. You really don't need to come in. We're going to have some internal, and we're going to send you the report. That works for us, ma'am. We're so damn busy. Why, hell, thanks a lot. I wish everybody was like you and did their own investigations and then told us what the outcome is. I know that's silly. You look at me and sometimes you watch the show and you think, well, he's silly. No, that's how it sounds. Like, really? That's bizarro world. So McCabe is the acting assistant director. Comey gets fired. This guy's acting director. Yes. This guy's there the whole time. Every time. How do you feel when people associate you and say, you are the deep state? Wow, that just burns me up. Anderson, that just chaps my hide. Anderson's like, please don't use that kind of language on this interview. Sorry. Anderson and chapping a hide. I'm sorry. So, that being said, somebody has probably sent me the message I wanted. We'll get that, and so I can finish the dumb joke. Okay. So that being said, Anderson Cooper sitting there with McCabe asking about the deep state. Nobody's asking the question. Nobody about the day they're in the office and the text message says Andy. Nobody's asking about Lisa Page and Peter Strzok being in the office, the insurance policy. Have you heard? I really want to know out there, have you heard anywhere that Andrew McCabe has been asked about the insurance policy and what it meant in his office with Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, okay? And was he in a text message circle with them when the president got elected, when somebody was saying OF, OF. You know what that means. Okay, Lonnie, because of the fact this first time ever, I did not bring my computer. So I've been checking updated stories, looking for updates in the stories of what's going on through my phones to see if there's any updates that I'm missing and trying to keep up with it. Yes, Bernie Sanders. So let's just go through the pictures because we got 10 minutes here. Let's just go number one, and I'm going to do some highlighting here. Every once in a while, and we're going to go one through the end, okay, until I say slide to the next, all right? Number one there, did you ask Attorney General Matthew Whitaker to change go to two? The leadership of the investigation into your former personal attorney, Michael Cohen. Trump denies trying to tamper with Cohen Pro. Now, this is a story out of the New York Times, right? Of all places, a leak out of the New York Times, no sources, no names, but this is the obstruction they're looking for now. All right, they claim that President of the United States asked to change the leadership on the investigation of Michael Cohen. All right? They don't have obstruction. They don't have collusion with the Russians. This is a whole new, okay? Shepard Smith. That's his name at 3 o'clock. Shepard Smith. I'm just telling you, you read between the lines. Anderson Cooper, Shepard Smith, and Judge Napolitano may shock you. They would be good friends. They could be good friends together. All right, next one. New York Times report raises new obstruction. Now, if you'll see the timestamp on that is 4:03 a.m. this morning Eastern Time. Right out of the box, I watch it at 4 a.m. because this is the first thing they're going with this New York Times report, new obstruction. They're saying Matthew Whitaker has lied under oath to those great Democrat congressmen and women on the Judicial Committee a couple weeks ago. Let's go to the next one. Trump tried to get ally put in charge of investigation of hush money payments, according to the New York Times. Let's go to the next one. And that would be Jeffrey Berman, a U.S. attorney from the Southern District of New York, 5:01 a.m. this morning Eastern Time from MSNBC. I just wanted to show you that CNN and MSNBC running the same story. Now, what's interesting to me is I remember when news networks used to actually go out and get the news and report it. These networks now spend more time reporting. Do you understand the funnel? The funnel is the Washington Post, New York Times, or, you know, one other, or LA Times every once in a while, Chicago. But the big ones is Washington Post, New York Times, Washington Post, New York Times. And every day they will regurgitate their story. They don't do news anymore. They run their story. So the New York Times, unvalidated, unvetted, probably leaked by McCabe, story this morning claims that the President of the United States told Matthew Whitaker, get in touch with Bremen, put him on the case because he's a friend of mine. He's a former law partner of Giuliani. That's what they got. They got nothing on Russia. Nothing. But this is a new one that they're going to try to keep in. They're going to try to keep in the media for as long as they can. They're trying to start a new investigation to keep investigations rolling. Go to the next picture. Dems scrutinize former acting Attorney General Whitaker for possible perjury. That's what we're talking about this morning. Go to the next one. McCabe, it's possible Trump is a Russian asset. Now, this is one, if you look, it's The Late Show, okay, CBS Tuesday. Now, he's going everywhere on this book tour. So the book tour, you know, the book tour doesn't even have the account on the 25th Amendment that they wanted to enact the 25th Amendment to remove the President of the United States. I understand the book doesn't even have that in there. Yes, actually. And I'll tell you why. What he's not telling you, here's what he's not telling you, is he had to send, okay, the book. He had to send the transcript to the Justice Department. He had to send the transcript to the FBI, and what cannot be validated in that book is pulled out. Oh, trust me. He couldn't just write whatever he wanted. But this is The Late Show. Remember when The Late Show was for Johnny Carson, and Johnny Carson would talk about the Slauson cutoff, and Johnny Carson would have a good comedian on there, and Johnny Carson would have Buddy Hackett or somebody like that, and Johnny Carson would do Karnak, May Your Yak, whatever. You remember that, right? These late night shows are not funny anymore. This is on Stephen Colbert, and they're running this stuff. CBS is running this stuff. Go to the next one. There he is. Okay. Is it possible Trump's a Russian asset? We're going to find that out on The Late Show. Go to the next one. This is where he's on The View, investigating the investigators, where he makes The View. And again, we ran the clip from Meghan McCain. But at the very end, when Comey, he's questioned about leaking and Comey's memory, remember what I told you, Joy Behar, which I do not like, had just thought out loud, which I know she feels she's in trouble for this, I thought you guys write everything down. Oh, interesting. Next picture. There's Meghan as she's questioning. I got to give her, I do not like a McCain. A McCain I do not like. A McCain, my friend, my friend, my friend. A McCain I do not like. Every once in a while I got to give Meghan her props. And then when she goes into spoiled brat, for 4 days, there you go. All right, next one. Okay, the bullet train. That is Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and the Trumpster right there. Next one. Okay. As I predicted, 16 states led mostly by open border Democrats and the radical left have filed a lawsuit in, of course, the Ninth Circuit, California, the state that has wasted billions of dollars on their out-of-control fast train with no hope of completion. Completion seems in charge. Next. Now, Newsom, I don't know if I have these in order, sounds off on White House demand. This is the California governor. The president even tied the two issues together in a tweet this morning. This is clear political retribution by the President Trump, and we won't sit idle by. This is California money. This is California's money, and we are going to fight for it. It's not. You wasted billions of dollars. Send our money back. We want our money back. We didn't get what we paid for. Next picture. There he is. False police report are phony. Next picture. All right, this guy, the kid, is seeking major damages. Covington Catholic school student sues the Washington Post for $250 million. I did have that article up here, but I wasn't able to connect to it. They want me to pay for it, and I'll be damned. Next one. Kentucky student sues Washington Post. Sandman seeking and that's the kid there, seeking $250 million for being wrongfully targeted. We're going to see what happens here. Is that my last picture? That's it. One more. Oh, Morning Joe, Andrew McCabe. We don't want to forget that. I'll go watch that interview later today. Andrew McCabe. Folks, be careful out there. It is the rain. I'm seeing pictures. I keep saying this like a broken record. The ground is very, very soft. Okay? It's very soft out there from the rain. There's going to be more flash flooding. You don't know when a tree is going to have just a little bit of wind take it down. That's serious. The tree you think has been leaning for a long time, that's never going to come down. This ground is so saturated it could tip at any time, and that's not a joke. Go over power lines. I'm just asking everybody, weather-wise in North Georgia, take precautions, be safe, and if you don't need to be out there, you don't need to be out there. That's what I just said. I'm done, finished, out of here. Tomorrow's Thursday. Just letting you know if you didn't. And I'll be back. Take us out of here, Lonnie.